Hello and welcome to today's practice called Block Party. We're going to utilize the blocks in a few fun and creative ways for today's practice. So we're going to begin in table. So I suggest a blanket to support the knee joints, and then we're going to place the hands on two blocks, and you can have those blocks on their lowest height. Hands as wide as the shoulders or a little bit wider. We're going to start with some table cat-cow flow. So as you breathe in, you're going to start to let the belly release down toward the floor. And then as you exhale, press the hands into the blocks and round through the spine. Let's do that two more times. Inhale, let the belly button drape down toward the floor. Lift your heart, lift your gaze. Exhale, round the spine. One more time. Inhale. Release the belly button down toward the mat. Lift the heart, chin, and the gaze, and then exhale, round the spine. Inhale, come to neutral. We're going to come into spinal balance. You're going to let your weight come into your right knee, and initially you're going to send that left leg back with the ball of the foot on the mat. So here's option one. Pausing here, you can stay here or stay engaged in the core while maybe lifting the left leg away from the floor so that the leg is running about parallel to the mat. Gaze is down to the mat. Stay here, put the weight into the left hand, and maybe send the right arm long by the right ear. So the balance is just a bit different with the hand placed on the mat and is a great option for building proprioception or working with where the body is in space. So take a deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, lower your right hand, lower your left knee, and just take the hips and sway them out a few times from side to side. We're going to place the weight into the left knee. Send the right leg back initially with the ball of the foot on the mat. So please feel free to stay right here. Or engage the belly button into the spine and maybe float the right leg up so that the right leg is running parallel to the floor. Stay here or take the left arm and send the left arm by the left ear. Keep the eyes focused and continue to draw the belly button in toward the front line of the spine. This will help to stabilize the pose and support the lower spine. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, left hand coming down, right knee coming down, and then sway the hips out a few times. Now we're going to come into down dog with the blocks on the hands. So I usually like my hands about mat distance. So maybe going just a bit wider with the blocks, press into the balls of the feet, and you're going to start to lift your knees and send your sitting bones up to the sky. And then as you're here, just take a few moments to pedal out through the knees and the feet. I really love this version of the pose with the hands on the blocks for the shoulders. Always feels really good in my shoulders to support my hands with the blocks. All right, taking your last round of breath here. And then take your gaze up to the space between the two blocks and begin to step the feet forward, coming into forward fold. So adjust the blocks forward so that you can take halfway lift with the hands on the blocks. Breathe in, lift the belly away from the thighs, reach out nice and long through the crown of the head, and really notice the shoulder blades. Feel your shoulder blades glide down the back toward the hips. So the sides of the neck are nice and long. And then exhale, fold into the legs. Take a breath in to bend the knees, reverse the swan dive, arms sweep wide and up, fingertips stretch to the sky, prayer hands coming together, and then down into your heart. We're going to catch hold of one of the yoga blocks. We're going to take the long face of the block between the inner legs, close to the knees. You're going to take your breath in and begin to sweep the arms wide out to the side. Send your arms up by your ears. And then as you exhale, let your arms go back out to the sides and back down by your legs. Let's do that again. Inhale, sweep the arms wide and up. Feel the side waist lifting out of the pelvis, and exhale, release the arms down. So you can stay with that, or this time as you inhale and the arms go wide and up, you might engage the inner legs toward the block a little more and rise up onto the balls of the feet, pressing strong into the bases of the big toes. And then as you exhale, lower the heels and lower the arms. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, sweep the arms wide and up, steady the gaze, hug the block, and elevate the heels away from the floor. Draw the navel in toward the spine, and then exhale, lower the heels and lower the arms. Last time. Inhale, sweep the arms wide and up. Maybe hug the block a little more and rise up with the heels. Exhale, let the heels lower and the arms lower. Catch hold of the block. You're going to take the block into the hands. You're going to hold the block like this. I'll even turn out to face you for just a moment. You're going to extend the arms, press the hands into the block, and then we're going to bend the elbows out wide and draw the block in toward the chest. And we're going to do that a few more times. You're going to extend your arms straight out. Then allow your elbows to bend out to the sides of the room as the block comes in toward the chest. Inhale, extend. Exhale to bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale to bend. Last few cycles. We're going to do one more. This one will be our last one. Okay, and you can keep the block into the chest. Keep hugging the hands into the block. We're going to send the arms and the block over the head. We'll hold the block in the hands and do just a few side tilts. Swing the body from right to left. Heat rises, so as the arms are extended above the body, you might notice a little warmth increasing. You might feel your heart rate begin to increase. Okay, and then come back to the center. You're going to hold the block right at the chest. We're going to bring the body into chair. So take a breath in, and then as you exhale, bend your knees. Feel the sitting bones reaching down and back. Draw the belly button in toward the spine a bit so you feel the lower front ribs kind of knit together. Then you can press your hands into the block as you feel your center sternum slightly lift. Take another cycle or 2 of breath here. Nice deep breath in. All right, as you're exhaling, we're going to fold into the legs. So at that point, you can set the block down, take a breath in, lift the belly away from the thighs, reach out long through the crown of the head. We're going to move those yoga blocks back, frame the front right foot, and step the left foot back into high lunge. Keep the hands supported with the blocks. We'll do some high lunge and a version of pyramid pose. As you're exhaling, move the hips up and back as you move that right leg towards straight, maybe rocking onto the right heel. And then inhale, come back to high lunge. Exhale, that version of pyramid. The back left heel is reaching toward the mat, rocking onto the right heel if you like. And flow through that a few more times. So you come back into high lunge, pause there for a moment. We're going to take the back left foot. You're going to step it 1 to 2 inches out to the left before spinning that back left heel down at about a 30-degree angle. Now you want to catch hold of one of the blocks in the hands, and we're going to rise up for warrior 1.5. So similar to warrior 1, but we're going to turn the chest and the torso to face that left corner of the mat. And we're going to do that same pulse in the arms that we did when we were in mountain pose. So you're going to extend the arms out, holding the sides of the block. And then as you exhale, you're going to bend the elbows and draw the block straight in toward the chest. Extend and bend. And do that a few more times. Exhale to bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the block in toward the chest. We're going to fold back in toward that right leg. Lower the block and spin off of the back heel. Now you're going to move the blocks forward. Press off the left foot. Step forward. Inhale. Take halfway lift with the spine. Exhale. Folding and bowing in toward the legs. We'll do one more halfway lift. Inhale. Halfway lift. You're going to frame your left foot with the blocks. Step the right foot back. You're in that high lunge. Now in the high lunge, you're going to take your breath in here, and then as you exhale, you're going to lift the hips up and back, maybe rocking onto that front left heel. The right heel is pressing down toward the floor. Inhale, back to high lunge. Exhale, version of pyramid, and go through that flow a few more times. Just dynamic movement connected to the flow of the breath. This act of moving with the breath is very quieting to the mind. It allows us to focus the mind and connect to the present moment, which settles the activity in the nervous system. Okay, one more time. Okay, bend the left knee. Now you're going to take that back right foot, step it an inch or two to the right, spin the back right heel down at about 30 degrees. So you want to catch hold of the block. You're going to start to come up, turning the torso slightly toward the right corner of the mat. We're going to do those arm pulses. Last time for this practice, you're going to extend your arms straight out from your heart, arms running parallel to the floor. Press the palms into the block. And then as you exhale, draw the block to the chest. Elbows go wide. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last time or two. Inhale, extend. And then as you exhale, you're going to fold in toward that left leg. Lower the block down. Spin off of your right heel. Press off the right foot and step forward. Inhale, take halfway lift with your spine. And exhale, fold into the legs. Let's take a reverse swan dive for a moment. Inhale, bend your knees, sweep your arms wide and rise up. Stay in mountain pose, but let your arms go wide out to the side, hands coming to your low back. You're going to draw your tailbone down toward the space between the two heels. Draw your elbow points toward one another and just take a standing back bend. Gentle opening for the front body, some activation for the back body. Keep your hands on your low back. We'll take a breath in. And as you exhale, begin to bend your knees and hinge out over the legs. Slide the hands down. Inhale, halfway lift. Frame the right foot with the block. Step the left foot back into high lunge. You're going to bring both blocks to the inside of the right foot. You're going to pivot your feet to face the left long side of the mat and adjust the blocks so that they're underneath the shoulders. You can lower the blocks to their lowest height, and we'll slide the blocks forward so that we're coming into wide stance, forward fold. Draw the chin in slightly toward the chest, a very slight movement, but that will help to create a little gentle compression at the back of the throat, create length through the very crown of the head. Take a deep inhale and exhale here. And then slide those blocks back underneath of your shoulders. Lengthen out through the crown of the head. So I'm going to put a little bit of a bend to the knees. We're going to be rising up. We're going to bring one block with us. So place the block between the hands and you're going to come back up. So we've held the block a few times this way. You're going to hold it that way again. We're going to spin the heels in and spin the toes out for some goddess pulses. You're going to press your palms to the block, bend your knees nice and deep, and you'll partially come back out of that squat and then go back into that deeper version of goddess. We'll do that a couple times. Okay, last one. Okay, hold the block in the left hand. Right hand's going to come up to the back of the head. You're going to exhale, tip down toward the left thigh, and then come back up. Exhale, side crunch over toward that left thigh, and come back up. We'll do that a few more times. Side crunch, rise back up, side crunch, and rise. Last one, side crunch, and rise. We're going to go right into the second side. So bring the block through the center, hold on to it with your right hand, let your left hand come to the back of the head. Exhale, side crunch, inhale, exhale, side crunch. Inhale it 3 more times. Exhale. Inhale, last 2 times. Exhale. Inhale to rise, and very last one. Exhale. And inhale, come back to the center with the block. Hold the block with both hands, straighten the knees, and spin the 10 toes to face the left long side of the mat. And you're going to draw your tailbone down, lift your heart up toward the sky, and then as you exhale, start to come forward. This time you can keep your hands on the blocks any height. You might even adjust the blocks so that you can fold a little more deeply in, maybe sliding those blocks more toward the middle of the feet. Or for this pose, you could also just place the hands on the mat. Wide stance, forward fold. Reach the crown of the head down toward the mat and notice the sensation across the back of the legs. So you want to feel the sitting bones gently tip up to the sky and at the same time draw the belly button slightly in. Okay, last exhale here. Okay, inhale, come back to halfway lift, catch hold of your blocks. You're going to pivot your 10 toes into high lunge, framing the front right foot with the hands, lower the back left knee down to the floor. Now we are going to take half splits. You can have the hands framing, or you can always place the hands to the inside of the right foot as well. You're going to rack your hips back, so you're going to rack onto that right heel again. So my favorite way to do this pose is to actually keep a little bit of a bend in this front knee. You want to think about that cat-cow movement in the pelvis. You want to move more toward a cow tilt. So the pelvis slightly rolls forward. Almost feels like you're sticking the buttocks out to the back of the mat. And then you almost want to feel like you're attempting to drag your right heel back. It's not going to go really anywhere, but you'll feel that energetically, and then you can bow in toward the right leg. Okay, take one last round of breath here. Okay, and then we're going to rock back through low lunge. Let's bring the hands to the inside of the right foot, lean to the left, swing your right leg out to the side. Let's walk to the right and then step the left foot forward. Frame the left foot or keep the hands to the inside of the left foot. That works better for your body. And then let's move the hips back, rock onto your left heel. Again, keep that soft bend in your left knee. Roll your pelvis just a bit forward and then feel the left heel attempting to make that drag back. Spread the left toes, and you can fold in toward the left leg. Okay, take a last cycle of breath here. Okay, and then you rock back through low lunge, hands to the inside of the left foot and step the left foot back. We're gonna come into table. You can take the block in between the inner legs, the long face of the block in between the inner legs, just like we did for mountain pose. And you can take your breath in, release the belly down toward the floor. Now, as you exhale, we're going to come to neutral, either with a little toe in the belly, or you can press the balls of the feet into the mat, hug the block. You can lift the knees away from the floor. Lower the knees back down, untuck the toes, release the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, neutral spine, hug the block, and elevate the knees away from the floor. Okay, last one. Lower the knees, untuck the toes. Inhale, release the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, neutral spine, hug the block, and elevate the knees away from the floor. Lower the knees back down and untuck the toes. Release the block out to the side. Okay, and I want to offer you can do some toe taps with that right knee down on the floor, lifting the left leg, or otherwise you might first come back into that hover table. Keep the right knee up, press into the right ball of the foot, and then take a couple toe taps with this left leg. Reach out through the crown of the head. Nice stabilizing pose. Last few times. Okay, as the left foot comes down, lower the knees. Go a little wide with the knees for a moment and just take child's pose for a second so you can take the weight totally out of the wrist. Okay, let's rock back up. As you come to table, again, you can keep that left knee down with some toe taps, or you're going to press into the balls of both feet, float the knees, put the weight into the left ball of the foot, and then take a few toe taps with the right leg. Chin is slightly in. Crown of the head is reaching up, or reaching forward. Last time or two. Okay, lower the knees. Go a little bit wide with the knees. Send the sitting bones back again. Take the child's pose. All right, last round of inhale and exhale. Okay, let's rise up through the all fours. We're going to bring the body around, bring the legs around. We're going to be coming down to the spine. We're going to do figure four, and then we're going to do bound angle or butterfly. So I do want to show you this. Usually for butterfly, sometimes people will take the blocks maybe like this or up like this. And I do want to let you know, if you kind of angle these blocks in toward the body and then the outer thighs are going right here on the blocks, this sometimes feels a little gentler on the outer legs. Of course, this can work. If you like this tilt in toward the sides of the legs, sometimes that can feel really good. So we're going to come down onto the spine, and we'll do that in a moment. I just wanted to show you before we came down. So the first thing we're going to do as you come down onto your back is just simply cross the right ankle over the left thigh in figure four shape. Now you're going to reach for one block, going to hold it in the hand, and you're going to press the block and the inner thigh toward one another. And you're just going to take a few rounds of breath there. A very calming version of the pose. So feel free to stay here for the last round or two of breath. If you want to release the block, maybe float the left foot up and maybe catch hold of the back of the left thigh. Just give a gentle squeeze in. Okay, release the hands, release the left foot, uncross the right foot, cross the left foot over, and then again, you want to catch hold of the block. You're going to place the block in the left hand, bring the block to the left thigh. The block and the thigh press in toward one another and press out through your left heel. Take a few rounds of breath here, just noticing the effect of the pose. Draws energy downward into the lower belly and into the pelvic bowl, which creates a sense of greater calmness. Okay, now feel free to stay here. You can float the right foot away from the floor and maybe catch hold of the back of the right thigh. Okay, last exhale, and you'll release your hands, release your right foot and your left foot. And then just take a couple windshield wipers, just swaying out the knees. Now we're going to take that reclined bound angle position. We're going to be supporting the outer thighs with the blocks. So feet together and knees open up. So remember, you could take the blocks down to maybe lowest height or even mid height and allow the outer thighs to fall open. Now, to create a little more comfort in the outer thighs, you might catch hold of the sides of the blocks and then you angle those blocks in toward the thighs. So you have to find a good placement so that it doesn't feel like the blocks are going to slide out from underneath of the body, but that angle often feels a lot better in the outer thigh because you don't have that like hard edge of the block pressing into the thighs. And of course, if you prefer to not use the blocks on this, you could just set the blocks completely to the side. So open the arms out in a low V or in a T position. And we'll take a minute or two here. Maybe close the eyes. Feel your body settle. Take another round of inhale and exhale here. You want to reach down and take the blocks and move them out to the side. Point your knees straight up to the sky. Plant your feet to the earth. We're going to roll over to the right or left side of the body. And then you can press your hands down and you can rise up to your seat. As you arrive, join your prayer hands at your heart, sit tall. The light within me sees and bows to that same light that exists within you. Namaste.